Hello, and welcome back to Rush, a 4-minute podcast. I'm your host, Justin Hodson, and today we take a quick look at digital badges and the need for students to be able to translate across media their skills, abilities, and learning experiences for external audiences.
Behind my back, you can show me how the odds are up against me all day long, but I've been through the...
So a conversation that I've been a part of over the past couple of years, increasingly it seems, is the role, need, and increasing necessity to add digital badging to what we offer in higher education. And I think badging has a function and a purpose, don't get me wrong. I think there are really sort of robust systems that apply digital badges and certifications and things like that, Certiport hubs and the training that goes along with being a certified Microsoft, wizard or whatever the case might be. But the badge or the certification on its own cannot do the work that is at core of what the skill students need, which is to translate their experiences and knowledge into meaning and value for an external audience. And so one of the things I've been stressing a lot when we think about badges is not only how do we create the badge using like Badger or other sort of really wonderful programs and systems out there so that students can signpost their skills on LinkedIn or their resume. And I think the badges themselves are important because they indicate a completion of something and a kind of commitment for development on the part of the person who has the badge. But the real skill that's at stake, and one of the things I think digital literacy does incredibly well or could do incredibly well, is learning how to translate your experiences for an external audience. And in conversation, in an interview, you can do that if you've practiced and you've developed this ability. The badge alone is like a resume item, right? But the experience is the conversation you have. And it's that sort of distinction that we're trying to get to that I try to focus on. So when I'm working with students, I think about, how would this experience you're undergoing be showcased for an external audience? And how do you demonstrate the value of that in terms of your learning experiences, in terms of your problem solving, in terms of your communication ability, digital storytelling, whatever the case may be, and then present that to somebody, both in your absence and in your presence. So active and passive communication, right? And it's that translatory act, that ability to use these multimodalities, these multimedia skills and tools and technologies to represent your experiences, your knowledge, your abilities to others. That is a fundamental part of this process. So digital badges on their own are positive indicators, and they are important indicators for a lot of people, for a lot of things. But it's no different than saying you have a bachelor's degree from IU, right? On its own, that indicates something, but it doesn't tell me everything I need to know, and it doesn't get me where I want to go. So you can't just keep collecting badges as the solution. You have to really start to think about how do you represent your thinking, your knowing, your doing, your making to other people, and to help then students figure out how to situate that in other kinds of contexts. And that's a gap we have. And that's something that we're trying to figure out how to work on from first year experiences all the way through portfolio design, all the way through student engagement, through career branding. How do you help students learn how to translate what they've learned in a biology class or in a digital badge structure called the Digital Gardener into meaning for an external audience? And that kind of outward facing, that kind of here I am, here's what I do, here's what I'm thinking about aspect seems to me to be critical to where we might be going with the value of digital literacy and that shift from, sort of certification of ability to sort of the ability to represent the experience of what that means and how that can then impact your engagement in the world.